for Money Talk Radio Show, brought to you by our friends at NuMark Credit Union. Today, we're going to be talking to and about first-time home buyers. We'll introduce our guest in just a couple of moments. I do want to remind you that at the end of today's show, you can win some dough. That's right. $25 Visa gift card, compliments of NuMark Credit Union. We are going to be giving that away. We're going to ask a question of our, a question that we get from our guests. He's going to give you a lot of good information. We'll pick one thing out and ask you to answer a question, and you can win a $25 Visa gift card. And we want you to, if you like today's show, listen to NuMark's panel of local professionals answer your questions about inspecting, purchasing, and closing on your first home. Expert speakers include our Vice President of Mortgage Loans, Harry Stewart, and a panel of home buying specialists. You'll have time to ask questions and even get pre-approved. It's an event that shouldn't be missed. Seminar is free and open to everyone. Seating is limited. For more information, call NuMark Credit Union at 815-729-3211 or visit newmarkcu.org for more information. The aforementioned Harry Stewart is our guest today, and he joins us on the Turk Furniture studio line. Good morning, Mr. Stewart.
Hey, Scott. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for coming on. We are going to get deep into first-time home buying. So Harry is going to join us here today and talk all about that. We've had him on numerous times in the past, and I don't want to spend a lot of time with this because he's going to be embarrassed, but Harry's son just won the 138-pound state wrestling championship down in Champaign. He got his athletic ability from his mom, didn't he?
Of course, I always say that. She, it was incredible. It was an incredible experience. It was like I was saying before. I've never been that nervous before. I forgot how it is to be that nervous before the finals, and it was like you never want something so much for somebody else, like of course, like parents will be proud no matter what,
right?
Win or lose in that event, but like to want it so much for somebody else, seeing him achieve his goals is just an incredible experience. So
yeah, congratulations to you and your family. The dedication that it takes to win in any sport. Wrestling is an entirely different animal, and you've got to be an animal. And he certainly was that. And I had no idea that Harry's kid was. I knew he wrestled because we do some work with, or I do some work. My family does with NuMark. And Harry said, "Yeah, my son's wrestling. We're driving all over." I didn't know he's state championship caliber because Harry's the most humble dude in the world. I go, "Is he any good?" And you're like, "Yeah, he's okay." And then I see on Facebook, which I never look at, Stewart winning a championship. So well done, my friend. Yeah,
thanks.
He's
I'll
okay.
pass on your congratulations when he comes back from school, too.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. Yeah, he's okay. He's all right. Yeah, right. All right. So let's jump right in. First steps that need to be taken care of to purchase a home. Take us to the very, very beginning of this whole thing. I'm guessing, and this isn't a plug for you, but it's to give someone or you at NuMark a call.
Yeah, that would be the first step. But the first step in the process is really you're gonna want to get pre-approved just to see where you're at, what you could afford, see if the numbers that we're putting together are realistic and what you're expecting. A lot of first-time home buyers, they might not know about everything that goes into the process. So I guess, yeah, contacting an expert at one of our branches. We've got several senior loan officers that are experts in their field, including myself, and we'll guide you through the process. But the very first step is going to be to get a pre-approval.
Good. Okay, so let's talk credit score. That's huge. That's important. What do potential buyers need to know about their credit score?
So I would say credit score is super important as far as loan program flexibility. You're going to have more flexibility with these automated approval engines and more flexibility with picking what type of program you want to go into. Now, there has been some recent changes where there's so many different first-time homebuyer programs where the higher credit score isn't really going to affect you as much. In fact, like it sounds crazy, but sometimes members or borrowers with lower credit scores will end up getting a better rate than somebody with solid credit and a lot of down payment or equity, depending on the program. So.
Yeah, it is. It's a scary situation. It's hard to do, and with that credit score meaning so much, because the credit score is also going to impact your rate that you get from NuMark or from wherever you borrow your money from.
Yeah, exactly. It's important, and until they find something better, the credit score is probably the number one thing that we have to worry about.
Yep,
so.
No doubt. Okay, so if someone does have a few of their blemishes, which is easy, what do you do, or what can you do to help out?
So a few blemishes, it's not the end of the world. There's a lot of programs, and in a lot of cases, you go down to some pretty low credit scores with some home buying programs. But I would say if it's something significant like a bankruptcy or foreclosure, there's a waiting period for that. But what I like to tell members or prospective buyers, I always say, I never say no. I just say not right now. Sometimes it take a few weeks to fix a credit issue. Sometimes it could take a few months. I've had members that we've worked with for over a year, and we're able to eventually get them in a home. So if we develop a game plan and we stick to that game plan, and you call us back after executing that game plan and you qualify, it's just a better experience. You're kind of drive into that closed loan, or that closed purchase, so you can purchase that home. So,
Harry, let's get into income. That's an important thing as well. Is there a certain amount people need to make?
As far as income, there's not a certain amount of income. It's all relative to what the amount of your purchase is going to be. And okay, I would say it's more important as far as debt ratio, your monthly gross income versus your monthly gross expenses. Some of the things that could go into those expenses to help with that, or to calculate that ratio is going to be like real estate taxes, your homeowner's insurance premium, credit card, minimum credit card payments, auto loans, student loans, that gets calculated in, even if, depending on the loan program, it could be 0.5% on the balance or 1% on the balance, even if they're deferred. I would say like any type of mortgage payment, any expenses that are reported on your credit report, or even off your credit report, go into that ratio calculation. And I would say like we could go up or above 50% debt ratio, but I would say, I don't know, I would say you really don't want to go up that high. No. You don't want to be house poor, especially for the first time buyer.
That's a big thing. House poor is the worst thing. You don't want to live for that house and not be able to live your life. Let's get into programs now available for home buyers. There are a handful.
Yeah, we've got several first-time homebuyer loan programs, and there's also grant programs available. We're partnered with the Federal Home Loan Bank, and they have a down payment plus program. It's actually a really nice grant program. It gives members and borrowers $10,000 to use towards their down payment or closing costs, and it doesn't have to be repaid. There is a forgiveness after 5 years, so you do still have to occupy the property and live there for those 5 years. But it's a nice program. You don't need a credit score to qualify. It's really simple to do. I like to tell people we have the keys to the cookie jar, because we're the ones that are actually submitting the grant, so it's pretty easy to do. The only caveat, it's income sensitive, so you can't make too much money to qualify for the grant. So
okay, let's go down payment now. How much does someone need for that? Yeah.
So So for these first-time homebuyer programs, like the VA has a great loan. It's 100% financed. You don't need any type of down payment. But there's some other first-time homebuyer programs through Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac where it's only 3% down. FHA has a nice first-time homebuyer program that's basically made for first-time homebuyers. It's 3.5% down. And when you couple that with the grant that I just spoke about, it's almost like you really don't have to bring any money to the table, or the $1,000 that you might spend on earnest money or $2,500, whatever your earnest money check is, really would be your down payment in those situations. So they really pair together really nice. So
all right, so we've made it through the process. We got the home. We are approaching clear to close. Let's talk about closing costs because those need to be factored in as well.
Oh yeah, it's super important, and everything seems like it's been more expensive. I'd say total closing costs. I would say lender costs maybe $1,500 to $2,000. We normally cover the cost of the appraisal for the member, so that's not really a factor. Title costs are a big portion of it. I would say title costs in Illinois maybe $2,500 to $3,500, depending on how much the purchase price is and what title company you're going through. Some cities will have buyer paid transfer stamps where you'd have to pay for that also. And obviously, I always recommend getting an attorney. So I would say the attorney fee up front would probably runs anywhere from like $500 $750. So there's costs, but in Illinois, like the real estate tax is paid in arrears, so there's going to be a tax credit that the seller's going to pay the buyers. That's kind of gonna wash out a lot of those expenses.
Sure.
So it'll help out. Plus, when we're talking about the grant and everything, it really doesn't turn out to be that much when you're talking about the real estate tax credit and the grant. Like it seems like on the surface you see all these numbers coming at you, but like once everything's said and done, it's not terribly expensive.
Exactly. We're talking to Harry Stewart, NuMark Credit Union Vice President of Mortgage Lending. They're going to put together a big panel of experts coming up in the near future, and you all are welcome to a free seminar, and it's open for everyone, limited seating. Call NuMark to get your spot if this is intriguing you all, and it should be because it's really interesting stuff, and it's great information. You're going to get even more. 815-729-3211 or visit newmarkcu.org for more information. Harry, is earnest money still a thing out there? Is that something that people require when buying a home or selling a home?
I wouldn't say it's required, but when you're making an offer and you don't know the seller, the earnest is basically a good faith deposit on that. Okay. So the higher earnest money, if somebody's putting up a greater amount than the other offer that came in, if I'm a seller and I'm looking at the two offers that are identical, but one has one up putting up more in money, it could make that contract a lot more attractive.
Okay.
Offer a lot more. So.
And escrow is another word that people that don't know what it means hear that and their eyes glaze over. It's too confusing. Explain it, because it really isn't.
And to make it more confusing, in other states they like we throw around escrow in Illinois. I mean, and we're including our taxes and insurance and any mortgage insurance included with our mortgage payment. In other states like Arizona or California, they call like the time period like the escrow, escrow closing. So the terms it's the same word, but they mean two different things in different states. But in the term or the way we're using it here, if we're setting up an escrow, we're just including your taxes and insurance in your mortgage payment.
What about a real estate agent? There are a lot of them out there. We have some very good ones that we hear about on WJBL Radio. Of course, we have Eddie Rudiger from Baird & Warner. We have our buddy Brent Wilk, of course, in the Wilk Real Estate Report. Give us a tip or two to finding the right real estate agent. It's important.
Yeah, it's super important, especially now. Maybe more so last year when like everybody was like overbidding on the homes and stuff. But I would say the most important thing is to find a professional realtor. You know, I don't like the part-time agents probably won't get it done for you, but we've got several partner realtors that you can we can connect you with if you have trouble finding a professional. But I would just say make sure you use somebody that's full-time and professional. Yep. Not the one that is working at the gas station part-time. You know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean.
I'm not like, because are they going to have the time to work for you? It's not. Right. It's not that they're working at a gas station or they're working someplace else, but if it's not their passion and their full-time profession, are they going to have the time to really provide the customer service you need? So.
Understood. All right. What about a mortgage provider? Why NuMark?
I would say we separate ourselves from everybody else because we're non-for-profit. We're not looking to make money off of our members. Everything we do is a pass-through service to our members. If it came down to making no money and just breaking even, or even costing us money, we'd be willing to make that loan for the member. Our board of directors, they don't get paid. It's all volunteer basis, so they never ask, you know, like, how much profit did you bring in, how much money, how much revenue. Right. Their only concern is enriching the financial lives of our members. So that makes my job so much easier because we're only looking to help our member base. Right. We're not looking for you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Well, you know, like maybe it doesn't, this square doesn't fit in that round hole. We're gonna do whatever we can to make the loan work for our members.
Very competitive home buying season, to say the least, is underway. If you're thinking about doing something this spring, you need to call Harry right now at 815-729-3211. It's 815-729-3211, or find out more by going to NuMarkCU.org. It's Harry Stewart, Vice President of Mortgage Lending. Harry, thank you very much, my friend. It's always a pleasure catching up with you.
Thanks, Scott. I appreciate it.
All right, take care. Now, here's how you can win a $25 Visa gift card. We asked you early on. We didn't ask you early on. We told you early on that Harry's son won a state championship. What sport was it? 815-254-7300. We're going off financial news, and we're taking you behind the scenes a little bit. What sport did Harry's son win the state championship in? 815-254-7300. Hi, who's this?
This is Joe.
Hi, Joe. What state did he win it in?
What state?
Well, no, what sport did he win it in?
I'm going to say wrestling.
Yeah, you got it, big man. Nicely done. Hang on the line. I'll get some information from you. You just won $25 to NuMark Credit from NuMark Credit Union. Thank you, my friend. And don't forget about that seminar that's coming up. For more information on that, go to NuMarkCU.org or call 815-729-3211.